Alwin joining us for round 3 here. I still no audio for this round. Again, my apologies. Uh, we saw Alwin last round against the other Dark Depths deck. This one probably has a little bit more play against something like a Blood Moon, especially when Alwin is on a mulligan to 5 already. But we have Green-White Depths for round 3 in the hands of Maarten. Maarten, very solid player. And it looks like, despite the mulligan to 5, Alvin does have a turn 1 Chalice, turn 2 Magus of the Moon. That is pretty much ideal. That looks like exactly what he needs. But Maarten does have the basic forest, so he's not completely locked out. And he has the Dark Depths, which makes this a little bit more dangerous for Alwin. Because should that Magus die at this point, that is pretty much going to be game for Maarten. Now, looking at Maarten's list, what kind of removal does he have here for a Magus of the Moon? He has a couple blockers, but that's probably not going to be the thing that gets him out of here. He does have Prismatic Ending. He is playing Mox Diamonds, and of course the full playset of Swords to Plowshare, so he does have a couple of answers in this situation. Any removal spell he draws here pretty much gives him the game, unless Alwyn just straight up just plays another Blood Moon. Okay, now I think the Dark Depth plan is off table. Unless he draws a Prismatic Ending and another removal spell, that's not impossible, but it's a tall ask, for sure. He does have his mana, so it's not impossible. There are very much things that could happen. If Alwyn stumbles a little, he could also die to this Elvish Reclaimer. I can pull it up. Oh. Knight of the Reliquary is also something that Alvin could end up dying to, especially if he doesn't start drawing some actual useful cards. I get a bit of trouble actually. Oh, there we go. Elvish Reclaimer. The Knight of the Reliquary currently is a 4/4. Now it's a 5/5, and that also turns on the Elvish Reclaimer. Thespian Stage coming down as a mountain. Not very exciting. Rebel Master is a good draw here, but might be too slow. We'll have to see what Maarten decides to do here. Sylvan Library going to hopefully help fix some draws here. Especially since both the Reclaimer and the Night Reliquary basically give a shuffle effect on demand. Gonna attack for 8 here. Yeah, I think Alwyn is just too slow for this game 1. Alwyn decides to take the damage and go to 3. Once he does the math. Like City of Traders was the draw. That's not what you want to see. And we go to game 2. A mulligan to 5 is always going to be rough, especially when you get it twice in a row. Alwin again on the mulligan to 5. At least this time Maarten joins him with a mulligan to 6. Wait, what are we doing? Ah. Maarten was convinced he was starting. No, you won game 1, Maarten. Okay, so let's look at some sideboard cards. Now, on Maarten's side, I expect some Force of Vigors. It's probably going to be a good card in the matchup. Other than that, maybe a Seeds of Innocence. Does Seeds of Innocence take out enchantments? It doesn't, right? I don't think it does. No, it doesn't. Probably not what you're gonna bring in then. Outland Liberator is a pretty good one. I expect that one. That one. That could be a pretty good card. It's a one-off, but it's a card you can get off Greenstone Scene. If so, I definitely would expect seeing it should that come up. On the side of Alwin, we are again going to see him bring in the Makers of the Moon. Other than that, oh, wait. Alwin is playing 3 Dead Gone. Yeah, he's definitely bringing that in. Definitely. Bring that up as well. It's a very clean answer to a Merit Lage. For 3 mana. 3 mana is a lot of mana, but still a pretty good answer. Looks like we also have Unlicensed Hearse, a card that is definitely part of the reason why Moon Stompy has come back as good as it has. The other, of course, being Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Combination of those 2 cards. It's probably more Mirror Breaker, right? Fable of the Mirror Breaker is a card that's currently tearing up multiple formats. An incredible card. Like, even if you look at it, you're like, yeah, this is probably a good card. But I don't think a lot of people would have expected Fable to be quite as good as it has been. Like, I think most people did not expect it to perform the way it has. Traditionally, Kiki Chiki has only seen actual play in combo decks. Now, this is a cheaper version of that, for sure. But it's not really that side of the card that makes it good, right? It's just having a creature that then makes a bunch of treasure tokens, like some card filtering. Like we see here, we see 2 Chrome Mox being discarded by Alwin. That's just a really powerful effect in a deck like Moon Stompy. Just there's so many dead cards that you just need to play for that explosive turn 1, turn 2 that you draw later, and suddenly they just don't do anything. And you can just turn them into good cards. It's an incredible effect for a deck like this. Also, Maarten not really having it with the token generator, the treasure generator, the meatball side of the Fable. was able to use endurance to take out the Legion War boss, but there's still a lot of power on the field. Taking a couple of hits. He needs something. I think Dark Depths would help here. Or a blocker and a removal spell. Or a blocker and a Maze of Ith would probably be pretty decent here. But he's definitely in a bit of a pickle here. He's thinking about what he can do. I think I see a crop rotation, so if he has a blocker... Yeah, I think I see endurance in there as well. I think that might be the play. He's thinking of maybe going for a Merit Lage here, but I don't think he can. Because he'd need Merit Lage and Maze of Ith, and I don't think he has that. He does have the crop rotation, looks like. Just the one crop rotation. But I think it's just gonna be Maze of Ith and get an endurance. Wasteland for the turn. Gonna take care of the Ancient Tomb. And then he passes, of course, being able to do everything at instant speed. No need to rush it. Just give it a moment. That one. Looks like we get an attack first. Gonna crop rotate away the Taiga. Interesting. No, yeah, that makes sense. If Moon is still on the table, which of course Moon is still on the table, you want to keep the basics. So it does take you off red for now, but like this is very much green-white depths. The red splashes only for 3 Pyroblasts in the side, which that's not a relevant card in this matchup, but it looks like Maarten conceding here. Not sure if my line worked here, but Maarten doesn't seem to think it does, so we are off to game 3. And another mulligan to 6 for Alwin here. But Maarten also on a mulligan to 6, so this is a bit more fair. Gonna have to wait and see how this goes. We have a fetch land for Maarten. Mountain Go for Alwin. That's not good. We have double fetch Outland Liberator. So he did bring it in. Of course, Outland Liberator, a fantastic card. Can I... There we go. I forgot what the other side is called. But the other side is a 3/3 that also destroys an artifact or enchantment when it attacks. So that could also potentially start gobbling up things like Fables, Urses, maybe some chalices that become relevant. Like, Maarten does not have to actually sacrifice the Outland Liberator if he doesn't have to. But it would require him to flip it, which is not impossible. It's possible he just plays nothing and then Alwin just isn't able to play 2 spells in a turn. Very much a possibility. And worst case scenario, it looks like Maarten does have Knight of the Reliquary, so not like he has nothing going on here. 2 lands currently in the graveyard, so there's a 4/4 Knight. Alwin most likely going to discard 2 Chromox again, looks like. He's thinking about it. Wondering if he really needs the mana or not. I'm inclined to say he doesn't. Looks like he has made his choice, but his opponent just walked off. Went to the bathroom real quick. Looks like his opponent's back there. Okay, probably not a bathroom break. If it was a bathroom break, then wow, that's an incredibly fast bathroom break. My God, like you should probably see a doctor about that. Nah, maybe he went to a judge to ask a question. That's more likely. Like we have Shadow Skull smashing in hand, Rebel Master coming down. I think there's a Sokenzon in his hand as well. Also a new card for the deck. Ancient Tomb coming down for Alwin. And he passes the turn. Did he play the Rebel Master post-combat? Or did he attack and it just got blocked? Same outcome, I suppose. Maarten going to turn his Yavimaya into a wasteland. Gonna get rid of the Ancient Tomb. That's not good for Alwin, who just discarded 2 Chrome Moxes and had to sacrifice a City of Traders because he played a land. That's a potential problem, not necessarily. That I plays plenty of land, so it's not an immediate issue, but he is a bit short on mana now. Staring down 2 Knight of the Reliquary. Fable going to flip. I do have reflections, yeah. So, Alwyn able to make copies of most likely Rebel Master. Oh, he might make a copy of the Shaman. No, he's going to attack with the Shaman now. Make a treasure token. But it's just gonna get blocked here. I think there would have been some value here in just keeping the Shaman and then making a bunch of Lotus Petals here. But it seems Alwyn really wants to play something right now. Now the City of Traders coming down. Blood Moon coming down. But Blood Moon is staring down 2 basics on Maarten's side. Alright, that's a non-basic, but not the worst. Prismatic Ending gonna take out the Rebel Master? That might be a problem. Maarten gonna swing in here? How much damage is that? They are 6/6 each. There's an attack for 12 going down to 8. That's a big swing. And Alwyn lamenting the fact that he hasn't been able to find any hearses to start shrinking these knights. At some point, even chumping them maybe, but that's not happening now. Gonna play a chalice on 0. Yeah, gonna play a chalice on 0. I think just to make sure the Outland Liberator doesn't flip. Thinking he really needs the Blood Moon. Maybe just not the flip. Going to channel Sokenzon. Response to the attack. That's gonna save his butt for another turn. I'm guessing that's going to be just blocking both the knights, taking 2 from the Liberator. Might decide to trade with the Liberator. Yeah, does decide to trade with the Liberator. So let's get rid of that. But there's still 2 Knight Reliquary on the field that are really big here. Fable of the Mirror Breaker coming down makes another blocker. Maybe allows Alwin to draw his way out next turn. Nope. Nope. That's not happening. Maarten gonna swing in and Alwin calls the GG. So yeah, that's pretty close matches despite Alwin just mulliganing for his life this entire match. Still some really good games. GG.